Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new episode. Today's episode is another solo catch-up sesh because your girl just celebrated her birthday. So by the time this episode is out, it's a day after my birthday, 26th of March. I know, I'll tell you why I love birthdays later. But anyway, yeah, just like that, guys. It's crazy. Another year has passed and I have spent another year around the sun. And birthdays are weird, man. Like, it's weird. It's a combination of joy because, I love to celebrate, but also like a little bit of sadness. I won't say depression, even though, like, when I ask you guys to send in some questions, you did ask if birthday depressions are a thing for me. It's not a thing for me, and you'll find out later why. Anyway, fellow Aries and March babies, happy birthday. I know some of y'all share the same birthday as me. The only other person, like a celebrity that I know that has the same birthday as me is Keira Knightley, 26th of March. I don't know anyone else. I don't know why. Since young, every time you Google random stuff, like she has the same birthday as me. But yeah, and if you guys realize, if you're not watching on YouTube, we actually have a new set, and this set is my home. The last time I recorded from home was from my iMac, so then you saw a different side of my house, but I decided to maybe just try something different. And because this is going to be a very personal episode, and I wanted it to be in a space that I feel safe in. And yeah, my team's here, and everyone's here. And we kind of like spruce up this little corner, my favorite corner of the house, because we've got the best sunlight, and I hope you like it. Anyway, this is a fun fact that nobody needs to know, but my birthday is actually the combination of my parents' birthday. So 26th of March. My dad's birthday is on the 26th of Feb. My mom, I think, is 8th of March. So like March and 26th. And they got me. I don't know how they did it. That is a crazy coincidence, I would say. But yeah. For a long time, when my birthday comes around, I like to just document my feelings, especially when I turned 30 was the last time I actually had a birthday episode. So I was wrong. I'm sorry. I said that I used to do a birthday episode every year. I don't know why it feels like I've done it every year. But when I was looking back at the episode, it was not a yearly thing. The last birthday episode was in 2023, I think. So yeah, maybe I could make this a tradition, like a yearly checkup. But I do that for New Year already. But you know what? I'll figure it out, whatever. Yeah, so it is a tradition at this point where I ask you guys to ask me question, you ask, I answer. So I was thinking about what I want to talk about because I don't know what I want to talk about. Every time I want to do a solo episode, I don't know what I want to talk about. But your questions really help give me a sense of direction, if anything. And I have to say, you guys ask really great introspective questions. So I love that about y'all. Amazing. Awesome. I have very intelligent, wise people listening to this. So that's nice. Yeah, so I have them all put together and it's kind of enough for a fun episode. So let's get into it, okay? Birthday reflection. Let's go. Maggie, how do you feel about your own birthdays? And has your view ever changed growing up? Okay, like I said in the beginning of this episode, if there is one thing that you should know about me, Maggy Wang, is I love birthdays, okay? I know there are some people who don't give a shit about birthdays. No, I'm not that person. I'm that person who loves birthdays. I love celebrating. And if I love you, I will make your birthday a bigger deal than you would yourself. Like my partner, my friends, like I would like wish them, call them, how are you feeling? What are you doing today? Oh my God, it's your birthday. They're like, yeah, relax, it's just my birthday. But like, no, but it's your birthday, I'm that person. It's a bit annoying sometimes, but that's just who I am. But the thing is, you don't need to be like fancy birthday dinners or anything, but I feel like it's important to acknowledge it that, hey, it's your birthday. You were born today, X years ago. How crazy is that, right? So yesterday, as I was working on this episode, I sent a text to my really good friend and I asked her, hey, would you say I love birthdays? And this is what she said. This is Natalie, by the way. Y'all know Nat already. She replied immediately, almost immediately, a minute later. She said, yeah, lol, it's really important. But you don't want to say that you love it. But you will be upset if people you love don't do something about it. You will feel like, yeah, the world hates me. Fine, I don't deserve anything. Nobody wants to celebrate my birthday. This is her text reply, by the way. And then I replied, stupid. And then she said, when actually you care about the people you care about. Sorry, what is she saying? What? I think what she meant is like random people I don't really care, but if it's someone that I care about, like my partner or my family member, and if they don't wish me, I'll be very, very sad. But I just know that if your partner don't do anything for you, it's the end. Ha ha. And I said, you summed it up quite well. And I said I was working on my podcast and everything you said is exactly what I said. So yes, like if you are someone important in my life and my birthday is not acknowledged, I'll be a bit hurt lah. I'm not gonna lie. It's such a weird confession. It's so stupid. It's so silly, right? So this year, that's why I've had a couple of birthdays before where I don't know why deep down I just expect them to surprise me. Actually, they didn't surprise me. So I got a bit like low-key disappointed. But again, at the same time, I cannot be angry because like how can you like be angry? Why didn't you surprise me? I find that so silly. So this year I'm going to do my own thing, you know. I'm going to like save myself from any disappointment. I don't like uncertainty. So I'm going to plan for something and just get people to come and hang out and chill. So yeah. So if you're like me, you don't like disappointments, but you have high expectation, you gotta take matter to your own hands. You know what I mean? Like just do it yourself. But, you know, having said that, to answer your question, I used to look forward to celebrating birthdays. But deep down, if I'm being honest, now that I'm a little bit older, I don't look forward to it as much anymore. I still do. Like, I still love the celebration bit. I love that. But I don't like the knowing I'm older now bit. Make sense? There's two parts. I love celebrating, but I don't like the fact that it's a reminder that shit, I'm getting older. And it's so stupid, I know, and I know there's no solution to this. There's no solution to this, so I'm just gonna have to deal with it. And when you asked me this question, I also thought about something, and it kind of was quite mind-boggling to me. It's quite crazy saying it out loud that I don't think I have any memory of myself celebrating my birthday with any of my parents. I was trying to look for a photo of my childhood photo of me celebrating birthday, and I realized, I really don't have leh. I have one of my sister celebrating her birthday, but I don't have one of myself. You know, back in the days, you've got like the timestamp in the photo at the bottom right. It was a 95. That's when my sister was born. I think the timeline is a bit weird. She's already definitely more than 2 years old. She's born 95 anyway. But yeah, I don't have a photo of myself celebrating my birthday with my mom or my dad. So maybe now that I'm older, maybe that's why I just love celebrating, because I never got to do it when I was younger. I don't know what it feels like celebrating with the ones you love. So now, if I love someone, I want to celebrate it with them. Yeah, maybe that's where it came from. I don't know. But having said that, by the time this episode is out, I would have celebrated my birthday. And I'm recording this about a week before. And last night, I just booked my flight back to JB for my birthday, because I've not celebrated with my mom before. And I thought, hey, maybe this year I do something different, because even if I'm going to be here, I'll be working. It's a weekday. I'll be working. I'll be bombarded with emails, meetings. I'll just be working. So why not do something a little bit different? And I called my mom this morning. I said, Mommy, I'm coming back. She's like, for what? I don't know. Just I have stuff to do and I want to see you. And it's my birthday. Yeah, I know. Do you know that we've never celebrated my birthdays before as an adult? And she was so very nonchalantly replied, yeah, I know. I'm used to it. And I don't know why, deep down I got a bit sad. I actually felt a little bit sad. I really did. Like, she's just so whatever about it. But I know me going back will make her happy. So yeah, I guess this is my first adult birthday with my mom, the person who actually gave birth to me. So, yes. What will happen? I don't know yet. I'll update you guys in the next episode, I guess. Okay, next question. When was the last time you tried something for the first time? Very good question, because I tried that just a couple of weeks ago. It was my Apple Talk. I said yes to doing a talk for the first time in my life. And I know what you guys are thinking. What? You literally talk for a living. How is that like your first time? You're always on stage. Yes, you are right, but no, it's not the same. I'll tell you why. So when I'm hosting, it's always for an event or an occasion that has nothing to do with me. A brand's launch, a brand's new product, a new store opening, someone else's event, someone else's anniversary. I'm always the facilitator of the said event. And that's just my job, right? Like there is no actually any personal relation to whatever is happening. I am just here, do my job, and I'll do it well. But a talk like this is very different. I really need to sit down and dissect my life because people are here to hear me talk about something that has happened to me. Like they're not here to hear me talk about Oprah or I don't know, Brad Pitt. They're here to hear me talk about Maggie. Because if they want to listen to Brad Pitt, they'll just go on Google and there are better things or better people who can talk about Brad Pitt way better. So I thought about if they're going to come hear me talk, I need to give them value. And for me to give them value, I need to really sit down and think about what I want to talk about, what will give them value. So I have to really go through my own folder that is my life, right? And pick parts that I'm comfortable enough to be vulnerable with people publicly. And that is pretty scary because I know your next question may be, you do that on your podcast. See, right now I only have like 3 people in the same space as me. And these are people that I'm quite used to, comfortable with already. We've had prior conversation. We have an actual relation. But doing it in front of total stranger that you've never met before, that you don't know how they would take those information, that is scary. Which is why that talk gave me so much anxiety. I couldn't really sleep leading up to it. But, now that I've done it, it was a pleasant experience. Will I do it again? Yes, but I'll be very, very selective about what I want to talk about. Because it really wasn't easy to like think about what I want to say, think about, will this give people value? So, and I care very much about that. So yeah, anyway. But it's also extra special, this one, because it's on my birthday month. See, I told you I make a big deal out of birthdays. So everything got meaning one. Okay, next. Now, before I get into this, right, I want to just put out a disclaimer that I am very much in the process of whatever I'm about to share with you. Like, I don't actually have a solution or how to go about it just yet. So we are going to just figure it out together, okay? And it's about leaning into my womanness, my femininity. It's such a difficult word to say. I always feel like I say the ni a bit extra time. Femininity. Such a difficult word to pronounce, I think, and to spell. I think I always get it wrong. But anyway, if you guys saw my post a couple of weeks ago, I think last month, now it's March, so that's Feb 2025. For the first time, I posted a photo of myself that I would not typically post. Not in a good or bad way, it's just different, right? I talked about how for the longest time, I struggled to lean into my femininity, my womanness. You could put me in the girliest, prettiest dress and I would just really cringe at myself. Or like, I just struggled to feel sexy, to put it very simply. For a long time, I could look at my mirror. I would look at myself in the mirror and I don't, like, sexy is just not in my body vocabulary. Like, it did not exist. Maybe you guys would think differently because you may have seen me put myself out there on social media for so long. And some of these output that I put out are pictures of me in very beautiful outfits and dresses, maybe with a nice slit with the legs out. But the truth is, for a long time, I never really owned it. Like, I couldn't fully feel beautiful, right? So I remember this trip quite clearly. This was a couple of years ago, I think just before COVID, actually. I had a summer beach trip with some of my girlfriends, and obviously, beach trip, we're in Bali, everybody's wearing bikini. And the natural thing to do is to wear a bikini, right? And I see all my girlfriends feeling so confident. They were like changing outfits, bikinis, taking photos. And I would just tell them, yeah, no, I don't really need to take photos, whatever. I'm just going to chill by the side and like, y'all do your thing. But the truth is, if I could, I would have wanted to take some nice, pretty, sexy photos of myself in bikini also. But like, I just didn't join them because I didn't feel like I belong in that body at the time. Like, it was not comparing body type, by the way. It's not about, oh, how nice her waist look, her bum looks. Like, I feel like everybody was beautiful. But I just felt this weird disconnect with my own body. Like, I'm wearing something that didn't belong to me. Like, I was trying to cover up. I just couldn't really fully own it. Like, again, I don't know how to even put these things in words because it's so hard. And I don't want to, it got quite bad. But again, I don't want to say bad in a negative way, but it did get to a point where I kind of stopped putting in effort in myself because I'm like, what's the point? Like, here I am wearing bikini where all my friends are wearing bikini too, but I'm not really like actually enjoying myself. Like, I feel like I don't belong in this body, and I feel like it's not good enough. I feel like I'm just like picking parts of my body and talking shit about it and just not fully embrace the way I could be. I also kind of stopped wanting to feel beautiful. Like, again, what's the point? I just don't bother shaving. I don't bother threading. I don't bother thinking about how my hair looks. I don't go to the gym for a while. And I just feel like I gave up because it was so hard to connect with a person that I don't know how to be friends with. And that person was myself. And that was me for a long time. Whenever I wear something that people would consider beautiful or sexy, I would find my way to just cover up as best as I can. And I thought about it. I thought about why was it so hard for me to tap into this womanness, this femininity, right? My sensuality, if you want to call it that way. And I don't know. But one of you did drop a comment that made me really feel like, yeah, you're right. Maybe that's why. And you said, the feminine energy only flourishes when we feel safe, supported, and free to express ourselves. So when you're not in an environment where you can do any of it, of course, it's going to be hard to tap into that or allow yourself to fully embrace that side of you, right? So, for example, that photo of me with that yellow skirt and the bikini top. It's not really a bikini top, like a bandeau top. It's actually probably the most cleavage I've ever shown. The most. And in most cases in the past, I would have tried my best to cover up. Actually, even that night, I did try to cover up. But when I was trying to take that photo, I tried my best to just fully feel nice and beautiful. I did feel beautiful that night. But yeah, anyway. But like, just before I was posting that photo, the first thing that came to mind is, what would people think? Will they think I'm a slut? Will they think that I'm too sexy? I'm trying too hard? That there's too much skin? To be honest, in the past, I have gotten texts from people in my family saying, I don't think you should post something like that. That doesn't look inappropriate. What would people think of you? You should be more classy. You should cover up more. You should be more demure. Not the word they use, but you get what I mean, right? So then, obviously, with that being my norm, being conditioned over time, I also don't want to show too much of my skin because naturally showing skin now equals to being a slut. But the truth is, I beg to differ. Like, I'm not bare naked. I'm not showing my titties, like no nippies out. Like, I'm not showing anything vulgar. It's just my body. It is my body. Like, what is so inappropriate about that? Like, I feel beautiful. I feel confident. And what's wrong about that? But of course, there's a line to draw. Like I'm not out here to like show my naked body, but I want to show my womanness. Again, like I said, it's so hard to put into words, but if you're a woman, you may get what I'm trying to say. It's not about your body type even. And it's so hard because it is so deeply personal. I feel like everyone goes through this so differently. And I'm not sure if I can fully dissect it at this point of time, but I'm going to start this conversation. And because I feel like I don't know if people will take things out of context, because I said the word slut earlier. Yeah, but what I'm trying to say here is it's quite crazy. Some of us women, beautiful women, feels so hard to feel like a woman, a beautiful woman, to feel womanly. And it's a thing, Yeah, again, like I said, nothing to do with your body type. I know friends who have the most beautiful pair of titties, tatas, and they just don't feel confident to not show off, to embrace it. And yeah, it's a work in progress. I'm still in progress, so I just I promise you guys I'll talk about it on the pod and see how messy it is, because it's a messy, messy, messy feeling. But now that I'm getting there, I want to say though, it feels so nice. It feels so nice to allow myself to feel beautiful and actually feel beautiful, because for the longest time, when people compliment me, those are just words. I never felt them. I never fully owned them. Oh, Maggie, you look so good in this dress. Maggie, you look so beautiful. You're so sexy. Those, for the longest time, they were just words. Nothing more, nothing less. But now, I feel like the past year and now, I feel like I'm finally, slowly starting to really own them too, and being able to say that to myself. Yeah, like I can feel it so much more than I could ever have. When I look at my body, I actually like it. I appreciate my curves. I appreciate my boobies, even though, they're lopsided. They're not like equally the same. They're sisters. They're not twins. That's what they say, I have one cup bigger than the other, and that's okay. For a long time, that was also one of my biggest insecurity, but I feel like it's also something that I'm still battling with. Like, social media really fucks you up, guys. I have to say this, really messes you up. Like y'all might think that I'm the most confident person walking out. Yeah, when I talk, yes, I'm confident. But if you ask me deep down, am I fully confident with my body? There are some days I'll have to say no. I'm getting into it. I'm getting into it. But damn, when I look at this reels and pictures of girls with the perfect Kim Kardashian ass and perfect round boobs that looks exactly the same, with the most beautiful shape and that beautiful lips that's obviously filled up, and like I feel ugly. There are moments like that too. I'm not gonna lie, it's a work in progress. That's what I'm saying. But there are pockets of moments where I can like just hold myself and say, "Hey, I'm not that bad. I think I'm okay. I think I'm enough. It's okay. Not that bad." Yeah. I used to pick apart every little parts of my body, but I don't do that as much anymore. And I think that's a progress. As women, I think it's so hard. People objectify us, whether or not you look a certain way, or, people will always have something to say. And plus, social media, comparing is so easy. It is true, it is the thief of joy. I compare myself a bit too much sometimes, and it just messes me up so bad. But I guess how you can start is you are going to have to like that you see in front of the mirror. I don't know, try this later. Strip off all of your clothes. This is just for yourself, okay? Be fully naked. Okay, I wear underwear, up to you, okay? Just be naked, no clothes. And then in your own space, look at yourself in the mirror. Do you like what you see? Do you like what you see without clothes first? Do you like her, him? I feel like men goes through that too, right? You have to start there. For the longest time, I cannot like that person that I was looking at. I hated it. But now, actually, when I look at myself in the body, I can, in the mirror, sorry, I can I like her better. I'm saying this because a lot of you guys ask me how did I get into it? It's small practices like this. Yeah. A little homework for you guys, I guess. Again, it's going to be an ongoing conversation. I don't know. I'm not at the destination. But is there even a destination? It's complex. But yeah, be kind to yourself. It's really the only body you have. Another perspective is it's giving you life, man. It's letting you walk. It's letting you enjoy your coffee and be able to digest them well, enjoy your good food, favorite food, and still digest them well, and you can shit it out. Damn, that's a damn great body, you know? Yeah. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Now, if you've been here for a while, you would know that we've been growing the podcast on our own for a while now. And one way you can really support us is by subscribing to our channel, following us on social media, and interacting with us. Leave a like, comment, react, anything if any of the episodes resonates with you. Even better yet, if you love it, share it so that we can reach more people like you. I know they're just small gestures, but they mean the world to us, and I know they will leave a big impact. Now, back to the episode. What's your biggest fear as you get older? Ooh, I was listening to my older episodes last night. The last time I talked about my birthday was 3 years ago. And I feel like a lot has changed, but my core belief remains the same. I think I said my biggest fear was death and not having enough time. And yeah, 3 years later, I still feel the same, but maybe a bit more layers to it, right? I recently lost a friend, and that really shook me. And that really got me thinking about how short life truly is. And it's crazy because it really takes something like this to make you realize. That shit is really short, huh? But if I tell you like this now without any real life impact or anything that happens to you, you may not feel it as much. It's just words to you, like I said. But it really does take something big that will happen that will remind us that these things, because it's so easy to take life for granted. When we're always on the move, we're always busy, we're always doing something, we always have to be at work, we always have to work on the next project. It's never going to end. But guess what? Our life can end at any time. I know that's so morbid, but it's so true. It's crazy. It got me thinking, damn. I don't dare to say this out loud, actually. I didn't even write it out because I feel like I believe in manifesting. But like, just imagine someone's life just end tomorrow. Are they happy with the life they've lived up to that point? Yeah, that was my thought process the past weeks since I found out about my dear friend Lainey. She's also a listener of this podcast. In fact, she would always drop me a text whenever she listened to this or listen to her favorite episode. She'll tell me what she loved about the episode. And damn, to think that I will never get that text from her ever again. It's pretty crazy. And she was only 42, 43. So young. Gone too soon. Yeah. That's why another thing that I'm afraid of is really not having enough time. I guess not enough time to do the things I love or like travel the world. Right now at this age, the real fear is also not enough time to have my own family. Yeah. I know I'm not like old. I'm not 40 yet and I still have time. Even if I'm 40 doesn't mean I cannot have my own family. That's not what I'm trying to say. But like when I was in my early 20s, I thought I'll be married by 26. The truth is, I'm kind of glad I didn't. I wouldn't have been able to do what I wanted to do. My life would have unfolded differently. Yes, I get that. But part of me mourns the youth. I still mourn it. Like, I don't know how to put it. Like, I mourn the fact that I can never be a young 20-something mother anymore, like a young mom. And I mourn that, I can never have that luxury of time to like be a married couple without kids. Because if I were to get married in the next few years, I think I might have to rush to have a kid because just biologically my time is ticking in that sense. Of course, there are things that I could do like freeze my eggs and everything, but like, you get what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. So these are the things I mourn. And there's nothing I can do about it because time has passed and life has unfolded in a way where I I I could have not even imagined. I love my life now, but there are parts of my life that I do mourn, and that's part of it. So like not having enough time to do all of that. Yeah. Yeah. Next question. This is actually from Tom, guys. Remember Tom? He was on our podcast a couple of episodes ago. He said, I ask you this as you're one of the busiest career driven women I know. And he said, do you see yourself having a family in the future? If so, how do you see yourself balancing it? So it's kind of a continuation of the previous thing, like that I would do want a family. Of course, I want to have a family. In fact, it's one of my dream to have a family because I never had it. I came from a broken family. I know how painful it is to live in a broken family. So part of me wonders what it's like to be in a wholesome family, to be in a complete family with a mom, with a dad, with the kids, siblings. So maybe part of me is trying so hard to work hard to make sure that my future children don't relive my past. Maybe that's why. I don't know. Like I know my mom didn't have too much of a choice growing up. She had me so young, guys. She had me when she was 23. And I think back and I'm like, damn, what was I doing when I was 23? Definitely not having a child. I'm past 30 now and I still don't know how to be a parent. Like what more my mom, right? So the older I am, the more forgiveness I have towards her about maybe not being a perfect parent. That also made me think about what kind of parent I want to be, right? But yes, to answer your question, God willing, yes, I would like to have a child. Just to have a happy, thriving child. I don't know if I can afford two children, but if I have just one, I'll be very, very happy. But yeah, as much as I would like to, I really don't know if that's possible because I also don't want to put that kind of pressure on myself. Like, guys, we all know how hard it is to conceive. I was talking to a friend that, sometimes it took them 2 years. Like, if you're lucky, shorter time, but it will still take time. And to conceive, like, it's a whole month of being pregnant. That's like almost a year. So it's not something that I can just do it tomorrow. It will consume and take time. And I don't want to also put that kind of pressure on my future husband. Like I want us to be good first because I hear couples fight all the time about things like this, like having a child and not, or the lack of a child. And I don't want the idea of having a children take precedence over my love and over our relationship because it is because of us that our future children will exist. So I guess for me, it's how I want to balance it is I want to make sure that my foundation with my partner and myself is strong first. I feel like that's going to be how I will balance it. Because I feel like if that is strong, whatever that comes after will be built on a good foundation, I think. I also, like you said, I'm quite career driven. I'm quite ambitious. I always like to work. I always need to do something. So even if I have a children in the future or have children in the future, I feel like I'll still be working and find ways to juggle them eventually. Like I don't think I have an answer to that, but maybe this time instead of focusing on my career, my project is now my children. I'll still be working on something. I feel I will not be a tai. Actually, I don't mind being a tai. I changed my mind, guys. I know a few episodes ago I said I will never be a tai, but I don't mind being a tai with a purpose, a driven tai. Okay? See? We changed our mindset. Why? It's okay. Call me out if I know I said I don't want to be a tai, but I don't want to be like a do nothing tai. I want to be like a purpose driven tai. Okay, done. Next. Wow, you guys actually asked a lot of very, like I said, introspective questions that is very relatable to the season that I'm in right now. This question says, how do you deal with it when you feel a sense of urgency of time passing so quickly, especially after 30? A very good question, by the way. But to answer your question, I feel like at some point, you are going to accept that there's only so much you can do and so much you can control. Time is going to pass. Time is going to move, whether we like it or not. Yeah? Life is going to happen. Whether we panic, we feel urgent or not, everything is going to happen the way it should be. For example, I simply cannot force myself to have a child right now, even if I wanted to. I can't rush a relationship and push someone to marry me. Get down on your knees right now, say you want me to be your wife. I cannot do that just because time is running out. To be honest, this whole concept actually baffles me, the whole having a timeline, having expiry date. Why can't we have our own timeline? Why do we need to live like everyone else? You know, I talk about this many, many times before, but yeah, I just try to remind myself that life will unfold. It's in its own way for me. So instead of racing against time, I would much rather focus on how I'm living with the time that I have right now. Like, am I happy? Am I content? Am I showing up fully in the life that I already have, instead of thinking about the future that's not even happened yet? Yeah. You know how they say when you're trying to rest, you rest fully? Because if you spend your rest time feeling guilty about not doing work enough, then your rest time end up being wasted because you use that rest time to think about the work when you could have just fully rested, and once you're done, get back to work fully, 100%, right? My therapist also tells me this all the time. Rest well so you can start well. So nowadays, if I were to take a break from work, I fully take a break from work and I'm not going to be guilty about it. So to answer your question, I feel like I'm going to stop obsessing over time slipping away, because by doing that, I do feel like I have more time, if I make sense. So the more I surrender, the more I let go, actually the lighter and the happier I feel. Because I don't want to live my life having to chase something that may not even happen, may not actually is for me. Just because everyone else is telling me to do that, I have to do that. I have to feel urgent because everyone else is doing the same thing. But maybe that is not my path. And that's okay. Do you think learning how to be a child again should be part of growing up? I'm looking at everyone in the room. Yes, 100%. I think the older we get, the more you are going to realize that so much of who we are today is because of our past, our childhood, our teenage years. And so many things that we want to do now are also the things that would heal our inner child, or at least we want to try to heal our inner child. Because the more therapy I go, the more things I learn about myself that has everything to do with how I was conditioned or how I was as a child. So I guess, yeah, to answer your question, yes. It's really about unlearning things that make us lose our sense of wonder, joy, play. If you look at a kid right now, they won't give a shit what everyone is wearing. They won't give a shit if you got makeup or not. They just want to play. They just want to have fun in the moment. They just want to get dirty. It's okay if it's dirty. I'll deal with it later, but I want to have fun. But now I'm such a germaphobe, I can't even have people on my couch wearing outside clothes. I think too much. But a child would just climb on the couch, whether he or she is dirty or not, and we'll deal with it later, right? Like, think about it. When was the last time you laugh without overthinking? You're just curious without judgment. You just do things because it makes you happy and not because they add to our achievement. Yeah. To answer your question, yes, 101 and 25%. Next question. Ooh, if you could travel back in time, what is the one thing you would like to change? Man, there's so many things I would like to change. But if I could travel back in time, I would say no to things that were against my value and say yes to a lot more things that scared me. Because if I did that, if I knew how to do that, I think that's a better way to put it. If I knew how to do that sooner, I would have walked away from a lot of situations and relationships a lot earlier, because looking back, I know that I stayed longer than I should have. I know. And whether it was out of fear, attachment, or just not wanting to deal with the discomfort of leaving, I definitely, thinking back in retrospect, I definitely held on when I should have let go. So, but again, do I regret it? You see, you can never regret the past, right? It is always the past that made you who you are. You know how this works. So I don't think I can say I regret anything, because had I made a very different choice, then maybe my life would have taken a different turn. Maybe I would have been sitting here right now. Maybe I would have been a tai somewhere. Maybe there's no head over heels. Maybe there's no Maggy Wang. I'm still Magdalene Wang. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I'm not a host. Maybe life would have taken a completely different turn. Yeah. Maybe I wouldn't have learned the lessons I needed to learn. So no, I don't think I can regret any of it. But I guess to just answer your question, that's what I would want to change if I could. Yeah. This next question got me sitting on my couch last night and thinking about it for like a good 30 minutes. Even after thinking for 30 minutes, my answer is so short. What is something that you've always wanted since you were little? It's so simple. But it's also something that I know I will never get to do again. Not in this lifetime with these people that I want to do it with, but to have a family dinner with my mom, my dad, myself, and my sister. Yeah, that's it. That's something I've always wanted when I was little. It's something that I've never experienced. By the way, guys, so I'm currently watching this next Netflix show, When Life Gives You Tangerine, the one with Park Bo-gum and IU. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I cried so much. Please watch it. I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but because Park Bo-gum plays this role that now make him so famous, then he's all over TikTok. And there was this old clip of Park Bo-gum crying when someone asked him, oh, I forgot the question, but basically he was saying, do you have a family photo, a family portrait? And he said, I don't have. Yeah, I don't have a family portrait. I don't have a family portrait. I don't have a picture of my mom and dad, my family. And then turns out the mom actually passed away, so he can never have it again. Whoa, pulled my heartstrings. I actually also don't really have a photo with my family. That's what I'm saying at the start of this episode. Never really spent birthdays with them. So yeah, you always want what you can't have, right? Life. But yeah, I hope I answer your question. We are down to the last few questions before we wrap up the episode. I hope you guys have been, enjoying the episode so far. Maybe got you thinking about certain things. Maybe got you wanting to dial your mom's number or your parents' number and just give them a call and say that you love them. Yeah. This next question. What is the one thing you treasure in a relationship? Well. I think there are many things I would treasure, but at this moment in my life, after going through enough relationship, situationship, and friendship, I think I treasure consistency. Not in a big, obvious ways. Those are nice too, but in the smallest ways, in everyday things like showing up for you, even though it's not the most exciting thing, showing up not because it's convenient, but showing up because I want to be here. Because, yeah, showing up in the most ordinary days when it's hard, those things. Like morning messages, like holding your hands, like cuddles. We're talking about relationship, right? So, yeah, like cuddles every night, like those things matter way more than big gestures like buying me big dinner, omakase. No, I don't really eat raw fish, so no need omakase. No, like those big things don't matter. I actually don't remember those as much as I remember these small things. So I realized that I appreciate consistency very much, because let's be real, guys, we talked about this before. Every time a guy wants you in the beginning, everything can do. After that, you check it again a year later. Macam tiada consistency ya, sis. What happened? So for me, that's why if a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, the consistency is there, damn, marry me already. Do you know what I mean? Like for me, consistency is very important. Because truth is, anyone can make grand gestures or say the right things once in a while, but it is the consistent effort, the little things over time that really build that trust and security in the relationship. Yeah. Because a person can fuck up and say sorry again and fuck up and say sorry again and repeat that. You will never be able to build that kind of trust and security ever. But building on good, healthy consistency, I feel like that's so underrated. It's my new love language, consistency. Okay, this next question. Very real, by the way. I know it is a season of resigning from jobs, moving from job to job. I get it. So this person asked, what is your advice on taking the leap of faith in resigning this is slash, right? Slash changing jobs. I'm too scared of the outcome. I'm a people pleaser and I don't know how to leave. Okay, actually, this was something that someone asked me during the talk as well. Something similar about taking the leap of faith. And I think what I said was, it's always going to be scary. And I don't think you'll be able to wait until it's not scary anymore for you to do it. Because the matter of fact is, anything that requires any leap of faith will be scary. Do you know what I mean? But you do it despite the fear. You do it anyway. So I said that. And then she asked some more, but how you do it? But how? And I'm like, yeah, huh? So easy to say, right? But how do you do it? This thought shifted everything for me in everything that I do these days. I think it was the thought of walking out, leaving is scary, but the thought of staying and living like that was scarier. And that's when I knew. Staying is scarier than actually leaving. So what you do? Of course you leave lah. You stay for what? Right? So yes, it's always going to be scary. There's no perfect moment where you suddenly feel like I'm ready and then the fear disappears. I don't think so. Because if you're going to wait, you might as well don't do anything. You just wait forever, right? But yeah, at some point you're going to have to do it anyway. Yeah. I hope I answer your question, because I have no more questions to answer. Yeah, I think that's it for today's episode. I feel like I do enjoy these one-on-one chat with you guys, because I feel like it's like a one-on-one talk while you're driving, while you're doing your thing. And feel free to pause at any point of the podcast for you to take your time to digest and, repeat and like process it again. I feel like that's my intention of episodes like this, when I'm not with someone, where I can really fully bear my thoughts with you guys. Yeah. Another thing, guys, I have a birthday wish. I would love to really grow the podcast this year. So if you enjoy Head Over Heels, you enjoy the episodes that we put out, it's going to be a shameless plug, but we need your help. We need y'all to share it if you like it. We need to get the word out. We need you guys to interact with us, drop a comment so people know it's good. All these small things do matter. And I hope that if you do love us, you love the podcast, I would very much appreciate that if you could do that for us, because that's really the only way we could grow. It's not easy self-funding this podcast, and I feel like there's only so long I can do it for, right? But if it's not sustainable, maybe I can't do it for long. That is the ugly truth and the painful truth. But I'm doing my best. The team is doing our best. So know that. So from time to time, you may also hear ad slots in the episode. And know that maybe it's annoying to you, but know that actually it's our way to sustain the podcast. It's very, very important. But of course, if there's one thing I can promise you is it's not going to be fake ads. If anything that's on the podcast is genuine, it's truly something we all love and we want you to love as well. And that's what I can promise you. So this year is going to be a year of growing the podcast and hoping that you guys can grow with us as well. And that's my birthday wish this year. There's more, but I won't say it out loud because then it won't happen. But this one I want it to happen, so I need your help. Okay, guys, I think that's it. Hope you enjoy the hour with me. And we have actually very exciting episodes coming up. We've got someone from Hollywood joining us on the pod. And can I give them spoilers? Actually can, guys. So if you watch The Brother's Son, the one starring Michelle Yeoh, Justin Chen, and Samsung Lee, the Michelle Yeoh, the mom, and then the two brothers, we have one of the brothers on the podcast. I know, it's crazy. Manifesting Michelle Yeoh one day, but hey, we got her on-screen son with us. Is it next week in the next episode? Or the coming month episode? So yeah, I cannot wait for you to hear that. So yes, know that we are working our absolute best to bring you the best episodes ever. And I guess the least you could do for us is show us some love. And that's it. But yeah, on behalf of the team, I just want to say we love you all so much too. We enjoy when you guys interact with us. Like, it puts a smile on our faces. It keeps us going. So yes, I shall wrap up here with what I always say. Don't forget to fall head over heels for yourself first and always. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye. Head over heels. Head over heels. Head over heels. Head over heels. Head over heels.